Hey there. Have you ever poured your heart, soul, mind, and body into something that you passionately wanted, like a dream, maybe a degree or a course, resource, a calling that you felt like was on your life, and it still didn't turn out the way you hoped it to? You did all the work, you prayed into it, you gave it the effort that it required, you stayed faithful, and yet it didn't happen. That space between all that effort and the resources that you poured into that outcome, man, when you feel like you've been rejected, that's brutal, very brutal. It's like getting kicked in the chest and the wind knocked out of you. Or you remember when you were a kid and you were on the swing and you jumped off and you didn't jump very good and you got the wind knocked out of you? That's how it can feel. I'm Christy, the comeback mentor. And if you ever whispered, what was even the point? Then this conversation's for you because you feel defeated. And sometimes the work and the effort and all of the resources that you poured into it, waiting for that perfect outcome, mm, it could actually be God uncovering something inside of you. So let's be honest. Nobody likes to talk about all of the rejections, the moments where you failed. We all know that failure just means you're learning, but we're still hard on ourselves. When things don't work out the way we plan them to, and we share, we let other people in on what we're doing, what could happen, what we're gonna accomplish, and it doesn't happen, we feel like a failure. We feel like this wasn't our time. We feel like maybe I shouldn't even try again. We celebrate breakthroughs, but what about those in between times where we didn't quite get there? Those little places where you wonder if maybe you actually missed the boat and you're not meant for anything but where you're at and what you're doing right now. That is so depressing. And I've been there. I've had everything go the right way. I have valued things about myself, traits, and watched them slip through my fingers and couldn't figure out why. I have learned through my own story and in mentoring other women over the years that sometimes the disappointment isn't punishment. And we as women punish ourselves, right? It's not punishment. Is protection. When you get rejected, you're being protected. When the answer is really no, you're being protected. If the answer is not right now, not in this timing, not yet, you're being protected. God's saying, I'm not rejecting you. I am not saying that your dream is dead and not for you. I'm refining your direction because He's got it all figured out. We can't see everything. We're not meant to see everything. But when we shut ourselves down and beat ourselves up and say, okay, this is not what I signed up for. I don't like this feeling at all. And we like completely shut down. We're closing the door on what he has already ordained for us, and we're lengthening our journey. Sometimes it's a good thing. You're still going to get there. And sometimes you never see because you shut it down so hard. You like slam the door. in the slowing down, in the forced slowing down during that time period where we didn't get what we went after, during that quiet, that's when we're going to start to actually hear and feel and know, okay, there's some heart work that I need to have done here. In the deep healing code, that's exactly where we start. That's where I had to start. Now I'm strong. I'm a very strong and independent woman. Always have been until I started, like I said, noticing the traits that I admired about myself slipping away. And I didn't like what I saw because I knew what I wanted. I knew what dream was ordained for me and how I wanted to see that outcome, but I was spinning my wheels in the mud. I couldn't get anywhere. I had no idea at the beginning of the journey that what was needed, what the blockages were in here. I thought I had fixed myself, and that was number one mistake. So this is where I want to drop a few questions for you. Like I said in my intro videos, inside my Renewed Heart Dreamers, they kind of nicknamed me the Question Queen because as a mentor, I feel like the right questions stir the right thoughts. So I want you to get ready for these. I'm not going to throw you some big bombs here as we're just starting out, but these aren't surface questions. What part of your heart felt unseen when that outcome maybe you shared and you feel people staring at you now, maybe even shaking their head, or maybe you're just doing it to yourself. So what part of your heart felt unseen when what you planned for, that outcome, that next season, didn't match up to the effort that you put into it? Because that's a part that's crying out to be healed. The next question I have for you is, what have you been calling failure? I know society keeps, trying to turn it around. It's not failure, it's a learning curve, learning opportunity, but we still will beat ourselves up. So, what have you been calling failure that might actually be an invitation? Maybe it's an invitation to reflect on your problem solving or reflect on your discernment or reflect on your decision making. Oh, maybe there's something in there that needs to be healed. Pause and be still. Get ready for a pivot or maybe protect something and get that healed. These are the kinds of questions that don't just change how you think, they actually change how you see. Because when your heart gets clarity, your direction, your movement, your forward action actually follows. When your effort doesn't equal your outcome, it's easy to think you missed God. It's so actually hurtful. I mean, you are literally aching inside because you went for it. You thought you heard right. You thought it felt right. And then it didn't come out the way it was supposed to. And then you go, oh my gosh, that wasn't God, that was me. But what if he was actually meeting you in the gap? What if it's him trying to show you that something needs to be healed in here? Your obedience in moving forward or trying to go after that next thing, that next season, that next resource, that next opportunity, that obedience is not wasted. I promise you it's not wasted. Every step you took is for a purpose. And to be honest, it's a little training for your spirit, because you're getting, there is more. You're getting geared up for what's next. So don't rush to rebuild again those quiet moments. Let the quiet teach you. Explore with the Lord, because He will reveal. Healing isn't a step that you take at the end of a setback, and it's not a one and done. Healing is a bridge that's going to lead you to that connection, to that hearing of God's voice, to knowing the next step, to clearing the pathway. So you stop hitting your head on the door frame every time you try to go through the door. And the healing in those raw areas, at those raw times, that's where comebacks are born. In the pause right there. If this message stirred something in you, that's your heart saying, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm tired of hitting my head on the door frame every time I think I'm making progress. If you're even curious, if you feel just a little twinge, your heart may be saying it's ready. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button, because what I'm going to share in the next weeks and months and years, we don't do surface around here. We do soul. I promise you, every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to be dropping real comeback conversations, deep, deep dives into healing, identity, purpose, what failure means, what rejection, what doors are going to open in rejection, all the things. And it's going to help you. It's going to help you rise to the calling with your heart intact. And if you're new, I encourage you to start with my Comeback Carter's starter kit. Comeback Carter. Has anybody ever watched? That's dating me. Of course, I was small. Comeback Starter Kit. It will help you identify what's buried underneath your burnout. Promise you. And you'll find it right below this video. So I want you to remember that the effort's not wasted. The outcome is not finished yet. You are just getting started. And I'm here to walk alongside you, lead when I need to, walk behind you with my hand behind your back as a support system where needed, because this is your comeback space where healing begins and heaven's going to rewrite your story. I'm Christy, the Comeback Mentor, and this is your comeback season. And I am so elated to be here and be with you and see what you do, what you accomplish. Take care, my friends.